Liverpool 2, Aston Villa 0. Liverpool race 5 points clear at the top of the table. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Welcome to another video. Yes, today's video is going to centre around the not so instant match reaction to Liverpool's big 2-0 victory last night over Aston Villa. Goals from Darwin, Nunez and Mohammed Salah in both halves were enough to put Aston Villa away, for Arne Slot to record yet another victory as the Liverpool manager. And of course, after yesterday's results and one big significant one occurring to Manchester City, of course, it meant that Liverpool have now built a 5-point gap at the top of the table. Mind the gap, everybody else. The Reds, Arne Slot's men, are going into the final international break of the year 5 points clear at the top of the table. We're going to be talking about the performance yesterday. We're going to be talking about the result, and of course we're going to be talking about what happened, a little bit about Manchester City and what happened with them yesterday as well. But before we go any further in talking about all of that and much more, I imagine, I would like to remind you all to please like the video and also subscribe if you are new. Both things always and forever be greatly appreciated. Get involved in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts, your comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it. That makes for great interest in reading, I'm sure, down below. Please do use and abuse that comment section, people, and talk to me on what you think about Liverpool 11 games into the Premier League season, Arne Slot, and everything else in between. I'm sure it'll make for great interest in reading. Now, without further ado, let's get on with the video. Let's talk Arne Slot, let's talk Liverpool, let's talk the performance and the result yesterday and everything else in between. First and foremost, brilliant result yesterday. The performance was not the best, it has to be said. It wasn't a immaculate, perfectionist style performance, but the result at this period of the season is 9 out of 10 all that matters. And once again, Arne Slot and Liverpool took full advantage of Manchester City dropping points yesterday. If there was ever a need for any extra incentive going into this game for Liverpool, it would have been what happened 30 to 40 minutes before kick-off at Anfield last night. Brighton came from a goal down to beat Manchester City by 2-1. And of course, that meant that if Liverpool won last night, they would have took full advantage of that and built a 5-point lead at the top of the table, which of course is what the Reds managed to achieve. And like I said last week, the performance both weeks wasn't great. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't immaculate. But I don't care as long as we get the result, especially in these types of situations. Like, I get that maybe it's not the most sustainable kind of model going forward, but as long as we're getting the results when our title rivals are not, I don't care. Now, the perfect weekend for Liverpool would be if Arsenal against Chelsea finished in a draw later on today. That would be incredible if Liverpool were to go into the international break 5 points clear of Manchester City. And then, obviously, would be about 9 points clear of both Arsenal and Chelsea. That would be phenomenal. And I wouldn't be sat here complaining about the performances too much. Yes, there is room for improvement. Yes, there are areas in which we can look to strengthen and play better in. But at this stage of the season, it's all about getting results. When we get back after international break, the performances will matter a little bit more, because that will be what we build our sustainable model on for the rest of the campaign. So for right now, I'm just happy about results. And especially if City aren't getting their results, Arsenal aren't getting their results, I'm looking at us, slowly but surely, becoming the favourites for this Premier League title. We're apparently the favourites with the bookies now after gaining a 5-point advantage over Manchester City. we're slowly moving into that area where people are going to be looking at us as the ones to lose it. People are already saying that already, even though we are only 11 games into the season. A 5-point gap, in my opinion, in November means absolutely nothing. But of course, with each and every single passing game, with the incredible run of fixtures that we've had, the whole, we've entered a very busy period of the season. We've entered a period of the season in which the fixture list has intensified, especially for Liverpool, as it has got more difficult over the past several weeks. We're starting to move into that territory now of it's Liverpool's Premier League title to lose. Again, I've always said, come back to me when Liverpool play Man City, and I will then, I then may change my verdict on where I believe the Premier League title is going. Until then, I'm still sticking with Arsenal a little bit, but like I say, with their recent run of form and with each and every single passing week, I'm slightly moving away from that verdict and prediction, in my opinion. But anyway, back to last night's game. That's what we're mainly here for. As much as the result was amazing, the performance took a little while for Liverpool to get control of. Of course, Darwin Nunez opens the scoring in the first half with a brilliantly well-taken goal. And you can maybe argue he actually does Aston Villa a favour, because I feel like if he hadn't have raced onto the loose ball, Aston Villa could have been down to 10 men. It's a counter-attack from an Aston Villa corner that sets Liverpool away. Van Dijk knocks it downfield for Salah to run onto. He gets the better of the Aston Villa defender. I don't remember who it is off the top of my head, but he gets the better of the Aston Villa defender. And then the Aston Villa defender brings him down. He's the last man. Salah's got a clear route to goal. Obviously, we've seen in recent weeks these kinds of things be punished. William Saliba against Bournemouth, for example. But also, we've seen him not punished. Tosin Adebayo against Liverpool, and of course, Mickey van der Ven against Crystal Palace. We've seen them not given. And then, fortunately for the Aston Villa defender, in my opinion, Darwin Nunez races onto the ball, goes round Emi Martinez, and finishes very, very well. So happy for Darwin Nunez in this game, and we'll get onto him a little later. But the thing that baffled me, on the replay, it seemed to show that the referee was playing on from the foul on Salah. Now, he was right to do so, because obviously if he hadn't, Nunez sticks the ball into the back of the net, but he's already brought it back for a foul, potentially. But in the replay, it seemed like he felt the Aston Villa defender did nothing wrong. He seemingly is playing on, or he's either playing advantage because he sees Nunez is going to latch onto the loose ball. Either way, if that is the case, that's poor refereeing. And like I say, I think maybe VAR would have interfered, but of course now we'll never know. But if Nunez hadn't have scored, Villa would have been down to 10 men. That could have made it a bit more difficult for Liverpool. That could have potentially made it a bit more difficult for Aston Villa. We'll never know. Nunez finished very well to open the scoring and draw first blood for the Reds. And he could have actually got on to make it 2-0 and should have got on to make it 2-0. A similar sort of counter-attack saw him in again. And this time he puts it over the bar. And that is why Darwin Nunez is the most frustrating player on the planet. Because instinctive finishers are like his bread and butter. He is incredible with instinctive finishes, and he's scored some absolute banging goals over the years. When it comes to simple finishes and just keeping his composure in front of the goal when he has to think about it, his brain completely capitulates, and he does that. He really should have made it 2-0 last night. He really should have maybe even put the game to bed in the first half, because apart from 2 or 3 efforts from Aston Villa, I didn't really feel threatened. And it says a lot, because it took a while for Liverpool to really get control of this game. We're normally used to seeing Liverpool get control of games in the second half, really, and after they're figuring out their opponent. They normally get control in the second half. They normally go on to see the game out and kind of suffocate the game out a little bit. took a little while for Liverpool to get going in that sense. Aston Villa had a couple of good opportunities in the first half. They had a couple of set pieces in which Liverpool seemed to really struggle from against any opposition. It's just a bit of cause for concern our defending from set pieces. But Keeman Kelleher has been exceptional ever since debutising for the absent and injured Alisson Becker, of course. Kelleher has been absolutely outstanding, deserves his plaudits, deserves his praise. And I've got to ask the question, would it be fair on Kelleher to be dropped out of this team as soon as Alisson gets back? I think it would be a little unfair, especially with the form he's in right now. He's been absolutely brilliant for us between the sticks, and I'm just starting to wonder whether or not, Alisson's injuries, should we just maintain Kelleher for a little while at least? I don't know. Maybe that is a debate to be had amongst Liverpool fans. But like I said, Kelleher's been exceptional. He made a couple of great saves last night in the first half. He was absolutely brilliant. But barring those two efforts on goal and a Morgan Rogers effort in the second half, in the very early stages of the second half, should I say, I felt we were more than comfortable. Yes, Aston Villa in that first half got a lot of joy. They beat our press very well. Our midfield was getting overloaded by their midfield, and they were having a lot of joy in beating our press. We played some good stuff as well. We just kind of struggled in the final third, and credit goes to Aston Villa for that, in the way that they defended. But there was never really a period other than them 2 or 3 chances Villa had in which I was scared, in which I was worried, in which I was really fearing that we were going to drop points. Yes, whilst it was 1-0 for a long, long time, you always do have the sort of inkling in the back of your head that a lucky break, a lucky set piece, a penalty, counter-attack could always go against you and in the favour of the opposition. But Villa didn't really threat, and the more and more the game wore on, the more and more blunt they become. They weren't playing through us a bit more, and credit goes to Arne Slot for that, because once again Arne Slot was incredible at being proactive, at changing the game, producing a slight tweak or two, and even changing personnel to kind of stop Aston Villa from getting through our midfield so easily, to kind of blunt them, to neutralise them a little bit, and then to actually go on and control the game from there. And in the second half, he did that. He brings on Szoboszlai, he brings on Luis Diaz, he takes off Darwin Nunez, and he just drops Luis Diaz a little bit deeper into like a false 9 position. And it kind of worked. And Szoboszlai as well with his pressing. Again, it's more the creative side of Dominic Szoboszlai you want to see more, but at the same time, when he's got a very big asset in terms of obviously the engine he can produce, the legs he can produce in that midfield, use it to your advantage. Use it however you see fit, especially in games like this where they needed seeing out. And then near the end of the game, Mohammed Salah gets a little bit of fortuitous luck. The defender doesn't quite clear it. It bounces off the defender, off onto the head of Mohammed Salah, and he's through on goal. And he races away. And then, unlike Darwin Nunez in the first half, Salah, of course, keeps his composure to score Liverpool's second, to double Liverpool's lead, and to get his goal for the day. He also got the assist for the Darwin Nunez goal as well, so it's another goal and assist for Mohammed Salah. I said it before, I will say it again, because clearly Liverpool are not listening, so I'll say it again. Give this guy whatever he wants. Give him whatever he wants. His own limo, his own set of cars, his own private island, his own private jet. I do not care. Give him whatever he wants. This guy is absolutely phenomenal and is showing no signs of slowing down anytime soon. And he was huge yesterday, because I felt, especially in the first half, he was a real live wire down that right hand side. Very creative again, causing all sorts of problems for Luca Digne. I'd say the only thing that went against him yesterday, and it wasn't even his fault, was the referee. I think it took about over an hour before the referee actually gave him anything. Luca Digne was all over him. There was even the potential for a Liverpool penalty in the very early stages, being pushed down in the penalty area. That kind of seemingly got swept under the carpet a little bit. But yes, Mohammed Salah was incredible yesterday, as was, the back four was strong. I thought the midfield grew into the game a little bit, especially in the second half. Darwin Nunez was a constant live wire. I know we saw the good and the frustrating of Darwin Nunez yesterday, but he was a real threat and a real live wire every time Liverpool went forward to that Aston Villa backline. So, all in all, decent all-round performance. Not the best, but not the worst. And the main thing is we've got 3 points. And the win. Now, I will address a little bit of controversy that occurred in the game. Certain rivals have been very vocal about Liverpool apparently being back in the fold. There was a potential penalty shout in either half for Aston Villa. The first being for a potential foul from Ibrahim Konate on Ollie Watkins. If you watched, I think I've seen a different angle to that, and it seemingly shows that it's a battle of strength, and it's Ollie Watkins who actually kicks the back of Konate's leg, bringing him down. So obviously no penalty there. The second one was for a seemingly drag by Connor Bradley on, I can't remember who it was. I think it might have been Watkins again, actually. I'm not 100%, or Leon Bailey. I can't actually remember who it was off the top of my head, but seemingly dragging the penalty area from a set piece. The first one definitely isn't. The second one, you can potentially argue it might be, but they've not been really given all season. So in terms of consistency, I'd probably argue that the referee and VAR got it right in that case in terms of consistency. You can argue we may have got away with it a little bit, but I don't think you're really going to get a penalty for that one, in all honesty. It's very hard to judge what's fleeting and what's a complete grab and a grapple. So you're not really going to get one for that one. I'd say Liverpool may have got a little bit of fortune and good fortune there. But at the same time, like I say, I don't think you're really going to get one for that again. And when they actually are given, that's the rarity and that's the inconsistency that really should be given out. How much weight was on the grab, you're never going to really be able to tell, in all honesty, and especially with how well built they all are in physique and things. How strong was the grab? You're never going to tell. So yeah, you can maybe argue Liverpool got away with it a little bit on the second one more than the first one, but at the same time, I still think the referee and VAR made the right call. That's not to say that he had a good game. I think for both teams, there were some 50-50s and some strange decisions all round. Like I say, David Koo was, especially in the opening few minutes, was very poor. Very poor. Didn't give Salah anything, despite the fact he was fouled about 4 times in the opening 10 minutes. Didn't give anything to Liverpool seemingly in the opening 5 or 10 minutes of the game. And also was seemingly not bothered about the time-wasting element from Aston Villa, which was smart on Villa's part, and I don't blame them for trying to take the sting out of the game and the atmosphere. But yeah, he didn't really help matters, in all honesty. I think I'm covering everything. Yes, like I say, the win leaves Liverpool 5 points clear at the top of the table. An incredible win for the Reds. Happy for Arne Slot. Happy for Liverpool. And yeah, we're going to the last international break of the year. 5 points clear. And I don't think a lot of people would have predicted that. And I don't think a lot of people would have expected that. And I think a lot of people would have probably anticipated Liverpool to drop off after the after last summer, with obviously Jurgen Klopp leaving and Arne Slot coming in. And yet here we are, top of the table, 5 points clear. And a lot of people, including myself, are slowly starting to believe I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. But I'm slowly starting to believe more and more with each and every single passing game, especially with the way that we're playing right now. The level of control, the level of adaptability that Arne Slot is showing is absolutely incredible to see, and he should deserve more praise for that. Mohammed Salah is in exceptional form. I'm so glad that Egypt haven't decided to take him on international break this for the next couple of weeks. So glad he can just train. He can just he just have less intensity for the rest of the week. Maybe even go on holiday, relax, recharge as we head into even more of an intensified schedule, even more of an intensified next several weeks as the pressure is going to build. Cannot wait for that. Cannot wait to see Liverpool continue to grow under Arne Slot. And there you have it. Those are just the thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, of this guy. I want to know what you guys think. What do you make of Liverpool's big 2-0 win over Aston Villa yesterday? Leave your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it, about the game, about the performance, about the result, and about Liverpool racing 5 points clear down below in that comment section. Use and abuse that section, people, and talk to me on Liverpool. It would make for great and interesting reading, I'm sure. Otherwise, hit the like button on the way. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you are new or want to see more content like this. Both things are always and forever greatly appreciated. Thank you all so much for watching and listening, and thank you all for your continued or even brand new support. It is awesome and very much appreciated by me, so thank you for supporting the channel. It really does mean a lot to me. Otherwise, I've been Fletch. This has been a not so instant match reaction to Liverpool's 2-0 victory over Aston Villa yesterday, leaving the Reds 5 points clear. 5. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. And of course, now we have to endure the boredom of an international break. So, yes, it's bittersweet. It is absolutely bittersweet. Anyway, guys, thanks, like I say, for watching and listening. And I will see and speak with you all again soon in another video or live stream or whatever it may be. Cheers, guys. Thanks again for watching. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. Speak to you all again very, very soon.